Okay, if you can hear me, you can just let me know. If you can hear me, please let me know. Yeah, if you have joined and you can hear me, please kindly let me know. Yes, please share the link to others to get joined. So if you have joined and if you can hear me, please let me know. And Dom, gone in. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? And can you see my screen? Okay. Omolara Jolasun. If you can hear me, let me know. And if you can, okay, you are hearing me clearly. And of course, is the screen very clear? Oh, okay, great. Please, kindly do me a favor by sharing the link to the groups and telling everybody to share it across the platforms so that we can, you know. Okay, perfect. Okay, great. Okay, great, great. So tell everybody to come live. And okay, that being said, so we're gonna be very starting afresh. Let's just wait for others to join. Let's say we're gonna be waiting for like say 10 minutes and we start in the next 10 15 minutes. Okay. So in the next 10 15 minutes, please, we're gonna be starting. Okay. In the next 10 15 minutes, we are going to be starting. Okay, noted. Thanks very much. So just stay put till we have others join. So I know some of them are still be like, are they still testing it? We are not testing it. This is gonna be live, and of course we have how many of you now? We have 10 persons. So let's see. Um, Akishola Babajide Amos, you said the screen is not clear from your end. Well, is it the only person having that issue, or we still have other persons experiencing the same or experiencing similar issues? So if you are in his shoe, okay. If you are in his shoe, please kindly signify. Let me know, because I don't think that's the case for most people. I don't think that is the case for most people. The screen is very clear. Oh, really? Maybe by the time if you are using mobile, I don't think it should be blurry. I think, oh, really? Let me see. Okay, let me see if I'm using a lower video quality. Okay. Oh, okay, okay. So definitely it's not from me then. I think it's from the viewers. So I think it's from the viewers then. It's not from me hosting. I think it's from you. So if your screen is not clear, somebody just suggested that you should. Oh, okay. Thank you very much. I think somebody just suggested it's from the viewers. So I think you should just check the chat rate. I mean the chat dialogue here, and of course you should find where the fault is likely coming from. I think. Thank you very much, Adibanke Olawale and Adam Gunning. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much. So we are starting in 10 minutes time, please. Let's just wait for others to join. Let's just wait for others to join. So we're counting down. So we have 33 views right now. Current viewers, we have 24. So let's just wait. Oh, okay. So if you are present, you can okay, you can quickly or you can just write your name, your full name. Just write your name, your full name. Okay. Allowed you, Paul Sunday. Got you. Chime Nachitam. Okay, that's nice. Um, Umili Joseph. Okay, great. Basi Peter Basi. Okay, fine. Kemisola Christiana. Alakayetunde good. Okay. Adebayo Olanrewaju, I can see you. Adebayo Olanrewaju. Seun Oloyede, I can see that. Oluwa Seun Oloyede. Adewale Olabi Farinde, it's pleasure. Miss Daudu Toby, good evening. Good evening to you too. Nando Musa Gonin, good evening, sir. Mr. Marcos Opomo, well done, sir. Okay, Salaudeen Abdul Mumin, you're welcome. Mr. Jagede Adibola, Mr. Ruma Oyekunle, good evening, sir. Mr. Kumbi Adiola, good evening. Adebanke Isaac, Oluwafemi Michael, that is Michael Oluwafemi Manuel. Okay, let's wait. We still have 5 minutes to wait for others to join, so there won't be any excuses as to. Um, we have William Tosin, my very Williams. Okay, we have Omolara Jolasun. You have heard your name now. Okay, Akinshola Abajide Amos. Joshua Sholesi. Adepeju Abesin or Abesin Adepeju. Her name is confusing me. Jolasun Omolara. Okay. So you have to write your name so that's for me to collect. Okay. Oladimeji Miriam. So Tosin, take note. Michael Oluwatobi Joshua. So Tosin Williams, take note. Kowode Bisola, Elijah Hope Suzanne, Adekunbi Awoshiga. Okay, great, Tosin. Okay, Francis Akpan Francis Alphonsus. Omolara Jolasun, you're a clown. Jolasun Olalikon, are you guys siblings? Wow, that's great. Jolasun Olalikon, I've called your name. What else? What else am I having here? And I hope I'm very audible. Oh, great. Okay, so who is older? Ogunshakin Fumilola. Wow. Fumilola Labisi Ogunshakin Fumilola. Audible enough, that's fine. Oh wow, great. And I hope Elijah Hope Suzanne, I mixed your name, sorry. Yeah. And I hope the sound is real time. Okay, Joshua Lalikon, so you are the older person. Chukudi Prince Nwokeke, good evening, my brother. Good evening, sir. Kobaru Rosemary. That is Ekpetuku Kobaru Rosemary. Oh, great. Thank you, Mr. Bassi. Thank you very much. Yes, thank you very much. You're a crown. Madam Ruth Adingu. My very Madam Ruth Adingu. Good evening, Mr. Dotun. Amolara sound clear. That's fine. I'm glad to hear that. So we have 3 minutes to go. So in 3 minutes time, we will get started. Oh, okay, great. Unwoku Andrew said you're already back with the original email. That's fine. Damian Kingsley, good evening. Phoenix, good evening. You have to let me know your name, Phoenix. Latif Salahu, good evening. Oh, Latif Salau, good evening. Okay, it's like Latif Salau is not in Nigeria, he's in somewhere saying good day, sir. Ademokoya. No, sorry. Ademokoya Adeshayo. Yeah, good evening. Ademokoya Adeshayo. Adebanke Olawale. Okay. Sebilulai Abdul Ghaffar. Wow. Okay, we start in 1 minute's time. So count down to 30 seconds. So when we get started, I may not be able to entertain any other questions. I may just go straight to explaining what I needed to explain or what I will be needing to explain, so that there won't be any need for me because this is live. So it is important that everybody takes part in this session, and of course we're not going to be stopping there. So we're going to be continuing from after today. We continue till say yes, it will be available, but okay, don't worry, just stay online, just watch as we progress. So we're gonna be. It depends on what you are using. If you are using a mobile device, sometimes some mobile device may not go beyond what the capacity can. And you understand. So just stay on till the section finishes, and then we're gonna be, of course, it will be recorded so that you can have it watched again. Okay. So that said, let me quickly go back to. So let me go to my command prompt. Okay, Mr. Sita. Okay, great. It's a pleasure meeting you. Okay, so we are starting. So let's get started. So first of all, let me head to my command prompt. So let me go to command prompt. You understand? So the first thing I will do is to cd sorry, I'm on cap. Cd desktop. I'm going to cd desktop. You know what? I'm going to write everything all in one command. You understand? So that I can, let me bring this up. So I'll write everything all in one command. So I'm going to be cding into desktop and make directory live class. Don't worry, I will zoom. Just let's make directory live class. I will zoom. Don't worry. Just, of course, we know how to navigate to our VS Code. So I'm trying to navigate to VS Code. Now I've taught you that. So let me just quickly navigate to VS Code. So cd desktop, make directory, live class, and cd live class and cd live class, and again, so and code space dot. So I'm going to be doing some couple of things. I'm sitting into desktop and I'm making directory live class. I told you what the directory is. A directory is just trying to create a folder. Directory is a folder, and sitting into that folder, then of course I'm typing code space dot. That code space dot will route me to VS Code. You understand? So I wouldn't have any need for me to go through the graphical method. So by the time I hit enter So it will just navigate down to what? VS Code. I hope my screen on VS Code is clean enough and is wide in terms of viewport and in terms of zoom size. I hope the zoom size is well enough. Let me know, please. Look at the screen, the VS Code screen. Perfect. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Nando. I think I have a quick question to my. So the next thing here is just to create a file. Okay, great, Akishola. Thank you very much. So I'm going to create two files there. I'm going to create one notes.txt where there may be need for me to um, write a text file. So I'm hitting enter. So I'm creating another file. I'm going to create say I can say lesson.py or recap classes. Let me create a more descriptive one. Let me say recap classes, recap lessons dot txt. Okay, I mean sorry dot py. So I have this. So let me go ahead and collapse this, yes, so as to have a kind of convenient this thing. So first of all, I'm going to start from the very scratch. I'm going to start from the very scratch, which is defining, and I'm going to explain every definition. Then I go from there, from there, from there. In fact, our project might be shifted to tomorrow, but of course, we will do our project tomorrow on Python every day. Then tomorrow will be project on Python, and because I discovered that we are going to spend a lot of time trying to do a lot of recap and acquainting us to what we've done in the past. So quite definitely we're going to be doing our project tomorrow. We're going to be starting with Alexa project on Python. Then we're still going to be doing data science, all those people, all those persons that all those most of you that are trying to or that are doing what is it called, say probabilities, and you're yet to do your probability. So I'll do a recap, then we'll continue from there. So let me start from the very beginning. So I'm going to be starting from defining what the Python is. You understand? Remember I said Python is a high level interpreted programming language known for its simplicity, readability, and versatility. It was created by Guido van Rossum and first released in 1991. You understand? Python has gained immense popularity and is widely used in various domains, including web development, data analysis, machine learning, scientific computing, automation, and more. You understand? So let me give you some key features of Python. Let me give you some key features of Python. Um, hold on in a minute, in a sec. Hold on in a sec. Let me. I'm trying to. Okay. Okay. Perfect. Okay. I'm going to be going through some key concepts. First of all, I said something. I made mention of readability and simplicity. Readability and what? I said something about readability. Sorry. And what? Simplicity. So I said something about readability and simplicity. By readability, Python syntax is designed to be easy to read and write. To be easy to read and write, emphasizing code readability. You understand? So it uses some kind of indentation and white space to define code blocks instead of braces or semicolons, which makes the code more human friendly. You understand? Columns and I mean, braces or semicolons are being used by other languages, but Python make use of indentation, what we call white space, to define blocks of code. You understand? So another thing I made mention of there is an interpreted language. Interpreted language. Interpreted language. I say it's an interpreted language. Python is an interpreted language, meaning that you don't need to compile your code before running it. This leads to faster development cycle and a shorter feedback loop. You understand? Another thing I made mention of is high level language. High level language. I said high level language. Python provides a high level abstraction that allows programmers to focus on solving problems rather than dealing with low level details. It has a rich standard library that simplifies many common tasks. Another thing I made mention of is I'm going to be as fast as possible. You understand? Because we're trying to run a recap on what we've done. So another thing I made mention of is dynamic typing. Dynamic typing. You understand? Python is a dynamically typed programming language, which means you don't need to declare variable types explicitly. You understand? The interpreter infers the data type at runtime. You understand? Offering some kind of flexibility and ease of use. You understand? So other languages, code checking are done at compile time, while in Python, dynamic language like Python, code checking are done at what runtime. That's just the difference. So I made mention of multi. I didn't make mention of multi paradigm, but I'm gonna be including multi paradigm. Multi-paradigm. Okay, multi-paradigm is okay. Let me say Python supports multiple programming paradigms, including procedural. Multi-paradigms include the different approach to problems in programming language. You understand? So Python supports all the paradigm, all the different approaches to problems, coding problems. So Python supports multiple paradigms like procedural, object-oriented, and functional programming. You understand? Now, let me explain what this is. Procedural are the coding we've been doing without function. So when we go to functions, those are functional. So we're still going to be doing object-oriented, which is the class base. You understand? Which is the what? The class base. So that is what is known as multi-paradigm. You understand? So the versatility allows developers to choose the most suitable paradigm for their project. You understand? So it gives you the freedom to choose which paradigm to adopt. You understand? Then we are talking about cross-platform. Python is available on various platforms, including Windows. So whenever you hear the word platforms, you're talking about the operating system. You understand? So Python is available on various platforms, including Windows, Mac OS, Linux. You understand? These are different operating systems known as of now. So code written in Python can be easily ported between different operating systems, so without having to modify it, without what modification. So another thing you would have to talk about is Python has a kind of extensive standard library. Python comes with comprehensive standard library that includes modules and packages for a wide range of tasks, such as file I/O, that is file input and output, networking, data manipulations, and more. So this reduces the need for third-party libraries for many common tasks. You understand? These are just the verbosity. I just need to explain what all these verbosities are. So we don't need actually we need them. We need to know about them. So, but we shouldn't dwell much on it. Basically, because the motive of today's class is to get us is to get us um, is to get us acquainted to what we've learned in the past. So let's not waste much time. So we're going to be talking about large community and ecosystem. So of course, it has a large community and ecosystem. Then in terms of integration capability, Python can be easily integrated with other programming languages like C, C++, and Java. I think you are doing Java. For those of you that will be doing Java, I'll be teaching you how to integrate Python and Java, whatever. You understand? So we start with Java then. Then, of course, GUI development. Python offers libraries like tkinter, PyQt, and Kiwi for creating a kind of graphical user interface. You understand? Which allows developer to build desktop applications with ease. We have mobile applications, web applications, and desktop applications. You understand? So Python has popular web frameworks like Django and Flask that simplify web development, making it stronger choice for web development projects. So we are also talking about data science and machine learning. Python has become the de facto language. Let me use that word, de facto language, for data analysis, scientific manipulations, or scientific computing, rather, machine learning, and what have you. So libraries like NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlibs, scikit-learn provide some kind of powerful tools for these domains. You understand? So we're talking about community support. Of course, I've said that before. Python has a lot of community support and is known for its friendliness and willingness to help newcomers. So that is that. Let me just quickly let's start off with code. You understand? So we are going to be starting with the very beginning. Let me start with string. You understand? Yeah, we may have known string. We may have done string before. String might have been a kind of simple thing for you, but I tell you, we're gonna be introducing new stuff here that you may not have even. I may have skipped as a result of oversight or any other thing. I may have skipped them, but today's class I will try as much as possible not to skip anything. So let's just stay calm as we start off with what with the very beginning, which is the what which is the string. So we're gonna be starting with string, like I said. So let's say we have something like this. Let's say want to print. First of all, let me start off with data types. You all know what data types are. We have two major types of data types. So we have, let me go back to note. In data types, let me clean this off. Data types. So we have primitive data types. We have primitive data types, and we have what? Non-primitive data types. Non-primitive data types. You understand? So what are primitive data types? So primitive data types are one. Let me say okay, one, strings. You understand? Two, we have strings. Then two, we have integer. We have float. We have strings, integer, float. We have boolean. We have boolean. We have strings, integer, float, and boolean. We have list. We have tuple. Okay, we have list. We have tuple. We have list. We have tuple. We have dictionary. We have dictionary, and we have what? Set. We have dictionary. We have set. So these are what primitive data types. But we're gonna be touching everything here right now. So non-primitive. Let me quickly talk about non-primitive data type. So non-primitive we have there are two types of non-primitive. We have we have static. No, we have linear, and we have what? Non-linear. So let's this not waste our time. So we have linear and non-linear. We still have linear and non-linear. Okay, somebody is trying to remind me. Of course, we have complex number. Let me put that. We have what? Complex. Okay, I think I taught you complex numbers. Yes, we have complex numbers too. Thank you very much. Who's the person? Titi Lokpe Soliu. God bless you. So somebody just reminded me we have complex numbers too. So we have complex numbers under primitive too. So non-primitive, we are going to um, we don't want, because non-primitive, I'm going to deal with non-primitive aspect of data structure. I mean, sorry, non-primitive aspect of data types. We're going to be dealing with that at your intermediate level. So let me just quickly do this at your beginners level. So when we get to at intermediate, we're going to be dealing with that. In fact, henceforth, by the time you start attending your data structure classes, you will have much of that being dealt with. So let's go back to our code. So we're going to be starting with the first one, which is strings. So we're going to be starting with strings. So let's start with strings. So what are strings? What are strings? Strings are collections or combinations of several characters. A character could be anything. You understand? A character could be one if it's enclosed in a string. You understand? If it's enclosed in a quotation. You understand? So any combination of one or more, I mean, two or more characters. These are known as what? String. And of course, be mindful, two or more characters enclosed in what? In either a single or what? Double quotation. So anything in a single or double quotation is known as string. If it is more than one what? Character. Of course, in Python, in other languages, there's a primitive data type that's known as char, which is known as character. You understand? Then a single quote is being used for that. But here in Python, because of its versatility, even a single character can be regarded as string in this thing in Python. So combination of one or more characters in Python is known as what? String. You understand? And they are what? Enclosed in either single or what? Double quotation mark. So of course, let's say, or double quotation or double quote. So let's say we can call this a string. Let me say I want to type a name of somebody. We can say I can say Tosin, a single quote. You can say this is a string, right? This is a string because what? These are characters. Characters could be anything. It could be a dollar sign. It could be a naira sign. It could be Okay. I will answer your question. I will look at all the questions that have been asked. Let's just pay attention. So I'll answer all these questions as nearly I finished with this session. Please, let's this not this drag us back, because we have a lot to cover. We have a lot to cover. So I just quickly want to run through what we need to cover. So back to what I was saying. So uh this is, I said anything could be what? A string. It could be dollar sign, it could be naira sign, it could be plus sign, anything as far as it is what? Enclosed in what? In single or double quotes, it is, which will be regarded as string. So here we have tosin is what? String. You understand? Anything could be string. So you will see that tosin is wrapped in what? In a single quote. So if I say, I can as well call this, sorry, so I can say tosin, it doesn't matter, they are both string. You will see that one is in single quote, the other one is in double quote. They are both regarded as what? String. So what can we do in string? We can tell Python to print string, and we find it in our console. Let's say, oh sorry, I'm on caps. We can say print, uh, tosin. So if you say print tosin, run it. If you run it, it will give you what? Tosin. You understand? So we have tosin here. You understand? Which means our code ran successfully. That is the first code. But normally we are always as the first time, the first line of coding that we normally encounter as programmers is hello world, which is the first greeting we get in we are being greeted. The first way we are being greeted whenever we are starting out with what? To learn programming. So let's go with the convention hello world. Hello world. You understand? Now what can we do with string? We can do certain things with string. We can do a lot of things with string. You understand? Um we can um we can do certain things with string. You understand? We can do Okay, let me store this hello world in a variable. You understand? A variable is just like a container that stores what? That stores any data. The data could be what? A string, and it could be what? Anything. Let me say greeting. Let me call greeting. You understand? We can call this what? Greeting. So greeting is what? Hello world. That's the end of the line. So what can we do with this? I'm storing hello world inside greeting. You understand? It can be anything. You understand? So let me make my variable is greeting here. So I can print variable. I can print greeting. I can print greeting. If I print greeting, shift F5, I can print greeting and it will give me what? Hello world. You understand? Because I'm trying to print, instead of me printing, if you are printing a variable, you don't need to wrap that variable in a quote. You understand? Because it's already storing a string that is being wrapped in a quote. So you don't need to enclose it in a quote. Just put it there, and of course it will run successfully. So what can we do with string? We can access each of we can access each element or each character in a string. How do we do that? Let me say, by calling this, let me say I want to access, and accessing each position of, each character in a string is called indexing. Index is called what? Index. Let me explain what it's called. What? Index. You understand? It is what? Index. So you are trying to index, visit each position, or you are trying to check the position of each character. So let's say, and in index, the counting, the position starts out with what? 0. It starts from where? 0. So let's say we are going to be checking for wanting to print the character at index 0. So what do we have here? Let's see. We have h. So h is what? Is the starting point, which is what? The first character. So the counting, I told you, the counting starts from 0. So we can as well access the last character by saying -1. To access the last character, we can have what? -1. So what can we do with it? Let's see. So we have what? The last character to be what? D. I bet I didn't remember to teach you this. What can we do again with string? We can reverse the string. So we can what? Reverse the string. No, sorry. We can use a reverse method on the string. Let's see. Dot reverse. Let's see if this will run. Okay, I'm using it wrongly. Sorry. Don't worry. I will teach you how to use it as we proceed. Let me not disturb the flow. So hello, what have you done? We've checked the index. Now what again can we do? We can replace a particular word with what? We can replace a particular word with another thing. So let's see how we can do that. We can say dot replace. We can use a replace method. So dot replace. What are we replacing? You have to specify what you are replacing and what you want to replace it with. So what are we replacing here? We are replacing, let me say, we want to replace hello. Sorry, let me want to replace hello. Sorry. So I want to replace it with I want to replace hello with what? With I. You understand? So dot replace hello. I want to replace it. So this is what you are replacing. So if you are replacing this, what are you replacing it with? We are replacing with what? I. And let's see what it will give us in the console. So I world. That's another thing you can do with what? With string. Another thing you can do with string is this. We can also, I'm trying to remember. We can, okay, we visited each element in the item. We can check for the length of the string. You understand? We can check for the total number of the total number of character in the string. How do we do that? We can create a length function. We can call a length function and store greeting on it. So we can create a length function and store greeting on it. So by printing this, it will tell us the number of character we have in the string. And of course, note that it includes what? It includes white space. I told you white space is nothing but just anything that is nothing but just an empty space. So in programming, to programming lingo, we call it white space. Do you understand? So this is it. So let's count it. So Python gave us 11. Let's see, 11, right? We have 11. That is the result Python gave us. So let's count it. 1, 2, 3. Let me highlight it as I count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it's correct. So that's another thing we can do with Python. With string. Let's see another thing we can do with string. We can have we can try to access a particular set of characters. How do we do it? Let's say we want to print, say, that's the range of character in a string. We can access that. Let's say we want to say 0. Let's say we want to have something like we want it to print 0 to say 6. What we are saying here is that give me the character stored. Okay, give me the character from the string stored inside greeting and start the counting from 0, you understand, up to but not including 6. So the result it will give us is it will start counting from HELO double LO. You understand? So it will give us the white space. So it will give us what? Hello. So let's see if we are right. Let's run it. Hello. Why is it not giving us this white space? Fine. Even though if we include 7, it's still white space. You understand? Let me put 5 so that it will cut short. It will reduce it by it will give us hell instead of hello. Now, I have just told Python to give me the characters in this string from 0 up to but not including 5. So the last number is not being counted. So in this case, it will give us what? Hell. Let's see. No, excuse me. Oh, okay. Sorry. Let me put 4 because the other time I include white space. So hell. You understand? So how will you count it? 0, 1, 2, 3. That is what the 4 is to be what? Instead of 4, it will be 4 minus 1, which is what? 3. So by counting 0, 1, 2, 3, that is what? 0 to 4. This process in programming is known as what? Slicing. It's known as slicing. Let me write it out. I can just highlight this whole thing. It's known as what? Slicing. You understand? This is known as slicing in programming. Slicing. So we're trying to slice it. So this is what we're trying to. Then let's move to we can do certain stuff with string as well. So let's move to integer. So what are integers? So I think let me recall what are integers? Integers are what? Are whole numbers without what? Decimal point. Any number that you have 0.0 point whatever is called float. You understand? In Python it's called float. But any number that does not have a decimal point is called integer. I want you to agree with me that in mathematics 4 is the same thing as what? 4.0. But the case is reversed. The case is not so in programming. You understand? In programming, 4 is not equals to 4.0. 4 is not equals to what? 4.0. You understand? It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. So in programming, 4 is not equals to 4.0 because 4 is an integer and 4.0 what is float. So before we can work on integer, we're gonna be looking at certain mathematical basic arithmetic operations. So what are the basic arithmetic let me say operators, sorry. Basic arithmetic operators. Basic arithmetic operators. Yeah, we're gonna be looking at, say, we're gonna be looking at uh, plus, which is for addition. We're gonna be looking at minus, which is for what? Subtraction. We're gonna be looking at uh, forward slash, which is for division. We're gonna be looking at double forward slash, which is for floor division. We're gonna be looking at the use case of the floor division. Then we're gonna be looking at asterisk sign, which is for multiplication. We're gonna be looking at double asterisk. Double asterisk is for power. When you want to say like 2 raised to power 2 is 4, you use double asterisk. You can use double asterisk. Then we're gonna be looking at modulus. Modulus is used to check it gives us the output of a Boolean value. What it's used for is to check if a particular number is divisible by a particular number without a remainder or with a remainder. You understand? So that is what Boolean is used for. You get it? So we're gonna be looking at that. So we're gonna be looking at that. So let's first of all start with plus. So we can say Python can do any mathematical computation. So let's start for the sake of time and for the reasons why we are here. Let's just stick with the very primitive ones. So let's say we want to print something like, say, 4 plus 5. So when we want to print something like 4 plus 5, sorry, excuse me. So we want to say 4 plus 5. So 4 plus 5 normally you know is 9, but Python can also do that. Can also what have, so you have what, 9. You understand? So another thing we can do is of course multiplications, or let me say, yeah, we can also do what, multiplication. 4 times 5, of course 4 times 5 is 20, which Python, we need to verify that so that we won't just be assuming. So we can have 20 divided by, of course, 5. Python can also do that, which is what, which is 4.0. But in this case, do you know why it is giving us 4.0? It's basically, it is being programmed to give us 4.0, behind scene. So let's say now this is the use case of, no, it's giving us 4.0 and that is not integer. Do you understand? So for us to have integer, we're gonna turn it into floor division. So by flooring it, by doing this, it means we are telling Python to chop up the decimal value. We can say this. You understand? We can say this. And of course, you can also use a method. You can also wrap it in a method called, the method is called round method. Let's say print round. A round method. So this round method will, yes, round, yes, now, yeah, oh, sorry, excuse me. So this round method is a method that will round this whole thing and remove what, any form of floating point. You understand? Like 0.0, all those precisions, all the floating point precisions, like 0.0, point whatever. So it will round it to the nearest whole number. So let's see. Yes, 4. So you can also use what, round method. Fumiola Olabisi, if it is blur, I think your colleague said it's from your side. It's not from my side. You understand? So you can just go to settings of your device and try to increase the easy resolution this time. So you check that, you increase the resolution. You understand? It could as well be at your network. So you can use a round method against it, and of course it will work fine. So let's say we have something like this. 20 divided by 3. Of course, we should have a lot of floating point number, but we are rounding it up to 7. So we can say we can round it to what? To 2 significant figures. You understand? We can round it up to 2 significant figures. Let's see if we're correct. So instead of, so we have what, 6.37. You understand? So we can as well say, okay, we want it to have one decimal place. Let's say, so instead of 6.67, it rounded that this thing to what, so the 6, it rounded the 7 precision, which is 7. It rounded it, the second precision, which is 7, which was 7, rounded it up to what, to it now took it on top of 6. So instead of you having 6.6, you are now having what, 6.7. So if you remove this one here, it will now round it up to what, to a whole number. So we can have something like this. You can have something like this. So we have what, 7. So that is that about. I think I've done floor division here. Let's just use, instead of using round, let's now test that floor division again. So let's just test that floor division again. So we have floor division. We can have something like this too. Of course, I told you double, this thing is floor division, double forward slash. So we have floor division here. So we have 6. So instead of it to round it up to 7, the disadvantage of floor division is that it chops off the floating, I mean the precisions, the floating point numbers, without having to round it up to the whole number. So it throws away the disadvantage. One of the disadvantages is it throws away the precisions, the dot, point. Instead of rounding it up to a whole number, it throws them away, which is not what we want. So we want it to round it. So by wanting it to round it, so you use what, a round method. So another thing we can do is what, we can also have power. We've done multiplication, so we can have what, power. We can say 2 raised to power 2. Of course, we know 2 raised to power 2 is what, 4. So Python can do that. Of course, we can have 2 raised to power 2 is 4. We can also have 2 raised to power 3. I told you you are going to be using double asterisk for that. We can have that too. We can have 2 raised to power 3 is also what, 8. So that is that. The other thing is modulus. I think we have modulus there. So modulus is I told you modulus is when you want to check if a particular value is divisible by another set of another value without a remainder or with a remainder. So that's modulus. So here we're going to be checking, let's say 4. Now Python returns, by default Python returns, instead of returning the output of 4 divisible by whatsoever, or one number divisible by one number, so it returns the remainder. You understand? That is the modulus value. So let's say 4 divided by 2. Let's say, no, sorry, 4 modulus 2. So in this case, you use this percentage sign. So 4 modulus 2 will give us, instead of you to give us the value, to give us the modulus value, that is the remainder. So you know, if you know 4 is divisible by 2 without a remainder, so the remainder here is what, is 0. So if the remainder is 0, Python will return 0. You understand? So in this case, Python will return what, 0. Let's see. Yes, 0, because it has no remainder. But if we say 4 divisible by 3, Python will return, instead of returning the remainder, we just return what was supposed to be a remainder. You understand? So it will give us what, 1. You understand? Of course, because 4 divisible by 3 is what, remainder 1. So that is that about the integer. So now let's now go to float. Like I told you, float is nothing but just a number with what, decimal value. 0.1 is float, 4.0 is float, 1.0 is float, whatever point, whatever is what, float. You understand? Whatever point, whatever is what, float. So float is anything that has decimal value. So we shouldn't allow that to take much of our time. So I think we've done all of this except for division. Of course, you can try that yourself. So we have what we've done. Float. Now Boolean is a declarative statement, or a statement, or a data type that returns true or false. So you understand, the result of Boolean is always what, true or false. So let's say we have want to print, say, something like this. Let's say let me say num1 equals 2. You understand? 2. And num2 equals 2. Let me say num3 equals let me say 4. You understand? Now, if I print something like if I print something like this, let's say num1 equals num2 equals num2. Now, first of all, let me explain why this is equals and the difference between this equals sign and this equals sign. Now let me explain it here. So when you have equals to, it is simply for assignment. That means you are trying to store a data to a variable. It is for assignment. You are trying to store a data to what? A variable. But it's just for storage. You're storing a data to a memory. That is equals to. This is not mathematics. This is programming. You understand? But is when you have double equals to is for comparison. You're trying to compare a data type to another data type. So at times it is for at times it's for comparison, and at times or most times it is for equality. So this is simply equality. This is assignment. This is for assignment, and this is for equality. You understand? So the equality one is just for the normal math you have. This equals this, this equals this. But in programming is what? Double equals to. So let's go back to our code. So we want to check print this equals this. So this one should give us what? A Boolean value. So we can have true, of course. You understand? But if we say, if we change this to num3, it is what? It will give us what? False. Because of course, if you check, what is stored in num1 is not what is stored in what? Num3, and vice versa. So it will give us what? False. We can as well go a bit crazy by saying print let me say true equals false. Let's see. Let's say true equals false. This should give us what? It gives us what? False, because true and false are not what? Equal. So we are just trying to tell you that Boolean is used for what? Comparison, and most times when you're trying to compare two data types or any other thing that you're trying to, any logic or any logical statement you're trying to make. So that is for what? Boolean. So now we're going to be going into list. So what are list? What is list? What is a list? A list is a sequence of so let me say a collection of sequence or iterables. Let me write it out. Let me type it out. A list is a collection of sequence or iterables in a square bracket. Let me put this in a word wrap so that view a word wrap. Okay, so in a square bracket, you understand? So by square bracket we mean this. So this is what? A list. And I want you to understand that list can either store a string, a boolean, an integer, or a float. It can even store a combination of all of them. You understand? All together. So another good thing, distinguishing fact you should know about list is that it is mutable. List is subject to mutability, which means it can be modified at any point in time. So whatsoever value or whatsoever data you store in a list is subject to what? Modification. It can be changed. You understand? That is a subject of what? Mutability. So what and what can we do with a list? We can iterate through a list. We can convert a list to string. We can convert a string to list. We can update a list. We can delete a list. We can insert value in a list. We can append value in a list. So let's see what how that is working in practical. So let's say we have list equals to, we have this equals to say 1 2 3 7 6 3 8. Let me delimitate them with comma. You understand? Let's say we have this, and let's say we have this. You understand? You will see that these are what these are this follows, this doesn't follow any form of orderliness. You understand? It could be anything. Let me even include 4 in between here, and let me put 5 as the beginning of the list. You understand? You understand? So what can we do with list? We can do certain thing with list. We can check, we can check, we can index a list. By indexing, we mean checking for the position of a particular item in a list. Let's say we have, and of course, you will see that, you will see the way I wrote my list, which means I'm not trying to offend Python by using a keyword. Remember, I'm not trying to offend Python by using a keyword. So when you use a keyword here, you are doing the wrong thing, because you don't store variable with a keyword. You understand? So it's a Python reserved keyword. So you can, I'm just trying to rewrite list so as for me to be descriptive, so that you know that I'm dealing with list. So I misspelled it, list. So of course, you understand what it is meant for and what it is. So let's say we have list, and we want to visit each element in the list. We can say something like we can say print print list. Let's first of all print list. Let's print our list and see what is in our list. Let's see if Python will print it. Yes, it does print our list. This is what our list. So what can we do again with our list? We can access the index. We can access every element in every index. How do we do that? We can access the one at index 0, and of course I told you why indexing. Indexing starts from programming. In programming, we start the counting from index 0 or from 0. So we can have index 0 here, which is what is at index 0, 5, which is the very beginning. We can tell Python to give us from index 0, from the range of index 0 to say 4. It will give us 0 1 2 0 1 2 3. You understand? So it will give us 5 1 2 3. Let's see if I'm correct or Python is wrong. Yeah, of course it gave us that. We can tell Python to give us from index 1 up to index 7, of course, or we can even say from index 3. You understand? Up to what? Index 7. So it will start counting from 3 to 7. And of course we can what we can have access, or we can try to access the last index. The last index is 1. So when you use negative, you understand, negative 1, it will give us what? The last index. You understand? Negative 2 will give us the second to the last index. So it will start counting from back down forward. So negative 1 will give us what? This minus 8. That is the last index. So negative 2, let's say negative 2. So counting from behind, it gives us 3. You understand? So that is how it is. So that is how it is. So negative 1 will give us my 8, and negative 2 will give us 3. So that's because. So what else can we do with list? We can also insert data to the list. We can append data to the list. We can uh, I've talked about insertion. I've talked about appending. We can append, we can remove data from the list, we can append data to a list, we can as well convert we can convert value from list to what? We can convert integer to a list, we can convert a list to an integer. So we see how that is being done. So let's first of all try to append a value to a list. So we can say list dot append. You understand? What are we appending? Let's say we want to append what value is not there. Let's say we want to append 9. Let's see. And what does append do? Append does what? It adds to the last index of the list. You understand? To the last index of the list. That's what append does. So let's see. None. Okay, sorry, we didn't print. So let's print it. Let's print. Oh, sorry, I don't need to put it this way. So I shouldn't have put it this way. Sorry. So list dot append to 9, append 9. So let's now print what? List. So let's print list. So by printing list, we have what? 9. 9 being what? Being added to the end of the list. So that is what append does. It adds to the what? End of the list. So the another one we're gonna be making use of what is what? Insert. Insert. What does insert do? How do you use insert? Insert just insert to a particular position. So you need two arguments. I told you the difference between argument and what argument is. Argument is a value you are trying to pass to what? To a variable. That is the meaning of argument. So insert method takes two arguments. The first one is the position where you will insert it, and the second one is the value you are trying to insert. Let's say we want to insert the first thing is what position. You want to put something in a place, in a location. First of all, you have to what? Make provision for that place, for that thing you are trying to put in a particular place. So we want to insert a value. So first of all, need to what? Make provision for the what? Space to use. So in this case, let's say I want to insert 9. Let's assume we don't have 9 there. So we want to insert 9. But before we insert 9, what position do we want to insert 9? We want to insert 9 at what? Index 3 or index 2, whichever position you deem fit. So let's say 0, 1, 2. You understand? So 2 will be shifted rightward. Then 9 will to occupy the space. So comma, what value are we putting? 9. So we are inserting 9 to what? Position 2. So for the first thing to do is what? To put, okay, let me put position 3 so that it will look as if we are trying to write these 2 here. Or let me say, okay, let me put position 4. I don't want it to occupy a position where the number is having the same the position is having the same with the entity. So let's say have with the element rather. So position 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it is shift 7 and put 9 there, because we have just said okay, put 9 at position 4. So let's see. So look at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 9 is at what? Index 4. So another thing we can do with it, we can even insert another list there. We can insert another list at position 4. Let's see. We can insert a list of items, another list of items. Let's say we want to insert 4, no, 3. Let's mix up this true. This is boolean. No, we don't need to put true in the code. Let's say I want to insert tosin. I want to insert boolean true, and as well 2.3, 2.4. You will see that we're trying to insert not just an integer. We are inserting a list of a list comprising that comprises of an integer, a string, If a boolean, let me add another boolean, doesn't matter, a boolean and a float. So where are we inserting it to? At position, at index 4. So let's see if it will work. So it does work. Look at, so at index 4, we put another list inside of what, inside the list. So this is what they call a list inside a list, a nested list. You understand? So that is that. So what else can we have? We can have, we can pop a list. We can use pop method. What does pop method do? Pop method remove the last item or the last element in the list. You understand? So let's say dot pop. You don't need to, dot pop does not take any argument. So just say pop. So does pop. What does it do? It removes the last element in the item of a list. So here what will be popped is what? 8. You will see that what it gave us is what, the list without the what, the last item. So we can even use dot, we can use a remove method. So remove method. So what does remove method do? You have to specify the item you are removing. In this case, it will take an argument of the item we are removing. Let's assume not. Okay. So pop, we can have access to what is being popped. Sorry, I got cut off, so I've been reconnected. Thank you. So in pop, you can have access to what is being popped. So let's try to regain what was popped before. Let's say pop. Let's use pop method again. So by using pop method, we have what? We have this. So we can locate, or we can try to look for what was popped. So how do we do that? We can say something like, say, popped equals okay, let's store this inside pop. Let me copy. Okay, let me just say, let me go this way. Let me say pop equals this. So I'm trying to find what was popped from our list. So let me say popped. So I'm going to print popped in this time. So it will give us what was popped. This is it. So we have access to what was popped. So that is that about what about list. So another thing is we're gonna be talking about here is we're gonna be talking about tuple. So what is tuple? Of course, we've talked about list, so we need to talk about tuple. What is tuple? Tuple is similar to that of list. Tuple is similar to list. Just the difference is just that the major difference is tuple is a read-only entity. It's not subject to modification or mutability. You understand? So what that means is whatsoever you store in tuple, you can't modify it. It is not subject to what? Modification. Let me first of all define it. This is it. A tuple is a collection of sequence or iterables in what? In a round bracket, and it is not subject to mutability. You understand? So by this line of statement, it means it cannot be modified. So item stored in a list is not subject to modification. You can't change it. You understand? You can't change whatsoever items that is being stored in a list. So that is that. Let me go back to code and let me explain what I'm trying to say here. I forgot to run a for loop on our list, but of course we'll do that in our later videos. Let's say want to have because I've not gone to for loop, so I don't need to run a for loop on it. So let's say we want to have something like, say we have a list. Let's say list 1, or let me name it num1, num1 equals we can say, let's say num1 equals, this is what I'm talking about tuple. Let's say 1 2 3 4 5. You understand? So now let's now say num2 equals say something like 2 3 5 4 4 6 5 7. So let's say 7. So and I want to say num1 equals num2. So what I want to say now is that I want to modify num1 to be num2. So I now want to print num1. So by printing num1, you have, let me say, by printing num1, see, by printing num1, let me bring this down. Num1 is now giving us what? This, which is what? This. Why? Basically because I have said modified num1 with what? The value of num2. By saying this equals this, by printing num1, so I will now have this. Let's now try with tuple and see what you give us. So you see that by doing this, it confirms that list is subject to what? Mutability, meaning list can be what? Modified at any point in time. You understand? So let's now convert this to tuple. You know, of course, tuple is what? In a round bracket. I told you tuple is a read-only entity, so which means it cannot be modified. Let's now say this. No, sorry. So let's say we have this. So let's now say this, and let's see the error that it will give us. No, wait. No, this is not what I want. Okay, num2 no, this is not what I'm trying to talk. Okay, I'll give you the example. I'll give you the example later. So let's just proceed. So tuple is similar to what? List, just that the difference is that tuple is not subject to modification, and that's that. So you cannot update tuple. So next one we're going to be talking about here is what? Dictionary. Let me see. Okay, dictionary. What are dictionaries? Dictionaries are dictionaries are dictionaries are let me define it. A dictionary a dictionary is a dictionary is a collection of a key value pairs. Is a collection of a key value pairs of sequence enclosed in curly braces. You understand? And this is how it is. This is how you enclose a dictionary. So by key and value pair, so for every key there must be a value. You understand? So dictionary, to access a value of a dictionary, you what? Make reference to the key. You understand? So it's a collection of key value pairs where the key is the identifier here and the value is what is assigned to the identifier. So if you are coming from another language, this might be called object array or hash map. You understand? We call it hash map in some, mostly, let's say, C++. So that is that. So how do we access the dictionary? Let's say let me create a dictionary here. Let's say we want to have, okay, this is a dictionary. Let's say we have data. let's say equals, we create a squiggly bracket. We have name. I told you it's a key value pairs. So what's the name here? Let's say Tosin. We have Tosin. We have age. What's the age of Tosin? Let's say 50. So let's say height. Let's say height. Let's say the height of Tosin. Let's say we have 1.7 meter, for example. 1.7 meter. So now to access this, we can say something like say, okay, we can say something like this. Print, okay, let me say print data. We can say print data. You can say print data of, say, let me say print data name. So by printing this, we are going to have access to what? To Tosin. So let's say, because we are going to have, you have to reference the key. This is the key and this is the value. This is the key and this is the value. This is the key and this is what? The value. So by printing, by trying to index the name, you're trying to to make reference to the key. So by indexing the key, you're trying to make reference to the key, and by so doing, you are accessing the what? The value in the key. So when you print this, it will give you what? Tosin, so and so and so to all other keys there. So another thing we can do with it is by you can even say, you can use a get method on the name instead of saying instead of just doing indexing in this way. You can say data.get what? You can run a get method to it. You can say .get. You can as well. You can run a get method. So if you are using a get method, you don't need to put it in a square bracket. You put it in what? In a round bracket. So let's see what it will give us. Of course, it gave us the what? A similar thing. So, but if you try to access a value through a key that does not through a key that does not exist, so it throws an error. You understand? So it throws what? An error. So let's try to so when, if the disadvantage of this get method over this is that over this let me retype it. Over this, sorry, the advantage of get method over this is that, over this is that, yeah, if I try to access what is not available in the dictionary, let's say data of let me say data of school, this key is not available, it will throw an error. You understand? But if I use get method, if I use a get method, let's try and use a get method and see the advantage of get method over it. So .get, you understand? So if I use a get method, let's see if it will throw an error. It's rather tell us none. So the advantage of using a get method, rather than using, or rather than trying to use a square bracket against it, maybe try to index it, is what? So as for us to have this, we can as well play around with the get method by saying, okay, instead of it to tell us none, we want a situation where you can tell us not found. Let's say give us not found. So we can even play around it. So instead of it to give us none, it will give us what? Not found. So that's one of the advantage over of using get method over what? Just uh just doing it the previous way. We can as well, since we don't have the value, we can as well have the value by itself. We can populate it by saying we can say data data of, say, since we are looking for school, we can say equals to say we can say equals to say technocraft academy. So by saying technocraft academy, so it will now populate it to what? Technocraft academy. So let's now print, let's see, yeah, let's now let's now try to access it again. So print data dot get. So what are we getting? We're getting school. So let's run it. So it gave us what? Technocraft academy. So that is that about of course we can also delete an entity from we can delete an entity from a dictionary. We can run a del method and delete. What do we need to delete? Let's say we want to delete the let's delete the school this time. You understand? So del data data of school. So let's delete data of school. Let's say, so now we deleted the data from school. Now after deleting it, we are still trying to access the data again. So it told us none. You understand? By trying to access it. You understand? So that is that. So it ran this code. After running this code successfully, we are now still trying to access the code that has been deleted. So that's why it gave us what? None. I think that is that about dictionary. We can also pop. We can also use pop method in dictionary. We can also use whatsoever thing we think. So we will still be using some of the use cases. We're gonna be working on the use cases in our later lessons. So let's just quickly. I'm just trying to create a kind of um, refresher lessons on what we've done in the past. So that by the time we proceed to the next class, it won't be a fresh thing again. So you have had a full knowledge of what we've been doing, and of course, it will be a kind of reminder when we go to the next lesson. So now let's quickly go to the next one, which is set. I think let me see, set. So we're gonna be doing set, and of course these complex numbers. Okay, I will do the complex numbers. Let's do set. So let's do set. What are set? Set are unordered collections of elements. Let me write it out. What is set? Set are unordered collections of elements. You understand? In a curly braces. You understand? So what does this mean? Set are unordered collection of elements. This word here, or these words here, are very important. Unordered, in fact, this word in particular is very, very important. What it means by unordered is that set has nothing to do with duplicate values. It throws away duplicate values. So if you have any duplicate values, set will throw them away. And set does not follow a particular order. That is why it is called unordered. Now I will show you what that means in practical. So let's say we want to have something like this. Let me clean this off. Let's say we have set values. Let me create a variable. Set values equals. So of course it's stored in a squiggly bracket, just like dictionary, but the difference is that the set does not have a value. It is not a key value pair element or entity. It's just a single entity. So let's say we have 1, we have 2, we have 3, 5 7 6. Let me say 3 5. Oh, let me even go sequential. Let's say 4 5 6. You understand? Let's say we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. You understand? So this is 1 2 3 to 7. So I want to print the set value. Let me print the set value. I want to tell you what it means by what unordered collections of elements. Let me say print set values. Set values. So let me print set values. It prints what? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Let me run a print statement on it again. It prints what? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Let me keep running it. So it doesn't follow a particular order. You understand? So another thing it does is that it doesn't care about duplicate entity. So if I have, let me try to duplicate any entity here. Let's say let me write 4 again. Let me write 3. Let me write 2. You understand? I've duplicated some entities. Let me run it. You see that 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So it threw away what? Duplicate entity. So let me write 8 here, 1 here, and 9 here. So let me run it. You will see that, you see, so it threw away the what? The duplicate what? Entity. So it's an unordered collection of what? Elements. So that is that. So how do we work with set? How do we work with set? This is it. We have some key concept in set. Let me say we have union. Of course, from our mathematics in secondary schools and in universities, we have what? Union. We have intersections. We have intersection, and we have complement. So I'll tell us how to work with set in Python, using Python. So what is union? Union is it's a set entity or a method, a set method in Python. You understand? Or of course a mathematical entity. It means what is particular, as in what is the combination of one set and another. You understand? When you combine two sets together, when you have two sets or more than one set, and you want to combine every element in a particular set with another set with another set with another set. If you are, let's assume you have two sets of entity, or we have two sets. Let's say set A and B, and we have 1 2 3 in set A, we have 3 4 5 in set B. You understand? And you want to combine the two. The combination of both of them is what? Both set A and B are called what? Union. The combination is called what? Union. So that is what union is. So let's try and use union in Python. Let's see, sorry. Let's use union in Python. So we can have something like this. Let me say set 1 equals squiggly 1 3 5. You understand? So let's now say set 2 equals say squiggly, we can say 3 4 6. You understand? Now you will see that 3 is being repeated here. I did it deliberately. Why is that? I want to establish a fact here. So let's now say let me create result or answer. Let me create a variable answer equals. So how do we use union? So we can now say set 1 dot union method. Union is a method in Python. Union. So what are we having inside the union? It takes an argument of the second set. You understand? Take a look at it. Set 1 dot, you call it dot method. You understand? You call it dot, you bind set 1 with what? A union method. And what? store an argument of the second set in it. So this is the first set, or this is set 1 and this is set 2. You can as well say set 2 union of set 1. Whichever way you like it, it works. So by printing answer, I'm going to run a print statement on this answer. So let's have print answer. So print answer. So to give us what the combination. But mind you, why it's giving us the answer, it should throw away a duplicate, any duplicate entity. Like we have here 3, we have 3 here, we have 3 here. It will only pick one. You understand? It doesn't print the duplicate. Do you get? So we have, let's run it. So we have what? 1, 3, 4. You see that duplicate values are what? Being thrown away. So we have 1, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So if you count here, we have 3 here, 3 here. So normally it should give us what? 6 entity, but it's giving us 5. Basically because we have a duplicate, and we have duplicate entity in both. We have one at in set 1, we have another one in set 2. So you throw away and pick one. That is about union. You understand? So interset. What is an interset? Or sorry, what is a complement? Or what is intersection? Intersection is what is common between a particular between two or more sets. What is common? So if you have set A and that set A has its own members, you have set B and set B has its own members, and you want to check what is common in what is in set A and B. That's what they call intersection. You understand? So it has a method in Python. So we can have something like that in Python. So we can say set 1 intersection set 2. You can as well have set 2 dot intersection set 1. So you're just trying to check what is common between two of them. So let's run. Here we have what? 3 here, we have 3 here. So the answer should be 3. Yes, that is just it. So that is just it. Then the last one is what? The last one is called complement. What is complement? Complement is when what is a common, okay, what is in set A when you have it. Let's say we have two sets here, set A and B. So what is in set A that is not in set B? That's what is called complement. You understand? What is in set A that is not in set B? That is what is called complement. So let's see how that is working in practical. So where we have instead of using complement, we don't use complement as it is used in normally it is normally used in mathematics. Here we use difference. So we use difference method to find the complement. So difference method to find the complement. So let's first of all take a look at it. What is common here in set 1? What is common is what? 3. No, sorry. What is in set 1 that is not in set 2? And what is in set 2 that is not in set 1? What is set 1 that is not in set 2 is what? 1 and 5. You understand? And of course, in set 2 that is not in set 1 is 4 and 6. Let's print that and see what is giving us in practical. So is what? 1 and 5. But in this case, if you put set 2 here, and put set 1 here, if you put set 2 here and put set 1 here, you have what? We have 4 and 6, because in set 2 we have 4 and 6, and the difference with set 1 is what? This. You understand? So that is that. And what again do we have? I think we have, let's see the last one. The last one is complex numbers. Complex numbers. What are complex numbers? Complex numbers are when you have the combination of real and imaginary number. Let me write that out. Complex numbers are the combinations of real and what? Imaginary number. Are the combinations of real and what? Imaginary numbers. So what are real numbers? Let's say in a situation, I don't know, in mathematics, maybe university mathematics or whatever mathematics, we have, let's say we have, okay, normally there's nothing like in your secondary school. For those of you that went to secondary school, sorry to say that, there's nothing like or there was nothing, or there is nothing like say square root of say square root of minus 1. So when you have square root of minus 1 in mathematics, it is regarded as I. You understand? So I means imaginary. You understand? So we can have in Python we have something like say 2 plus, let's say we have 2 plus 3j. You understand? So this 2 here is the real side, and this 3j, this 3 is the imaginary number. So when you have, we have, it's like say we have the combination of what? Real and imaginary. So the real side is 2 and the imaginary is what? 3. So while working in while using it in programming, so when you have, you can combine 2 and 3. Let's say we want to have something like say, let's say, let me see, let's see how this is working in practical. Let's say we have a equals 3 plus 4j. You understand? We have b equals 4 minus 2j. Now let's say we now want to print we want to print a plus b. Want to print a plus b. Now you will see that what this will do is it will add real for real, that is real number plus real number, and you also had imaginary for what? Imaginary. So the law is real for real, imaginary for imaginary. So in this case it will be 3 plus 4, 7. 4 plus minus 2, that is 4 minus 2, that will be what? 2. So it will now be what? 7 plus 2j. That will be the answer we're gonna be getting. So let's have this 7 plus what? 2j. So you can do whatsoever thing you deem fit using real using complex variable or imaginary, whatever things you want to do with complex variable. You understand? So, and let me just give you empty list and empty tuples, how to write empty list, empty tuples, and empty set. So empty list is written as this. So we have empty list. You have empty list. Okay, empty list is written as this. Is that you write it? Let me say empty. Is that you write it like this? Is that you write empty list as this? This is 1, or you write it as this. You understand? These are ways to write empty list. Is that you write it like this, or you write it like this. Then for empty tuples, empty tuple, you write it like this. Is that you write empty tuples like this, or you write it like this. You understand? That is empty tuple. Then empty set, set. You understand? Is that you write empty set like this. This is how you write empty set. Empty set. This is how to write what? Empty set. You understand? Don't try to write it like this. Don't write empty set like this. No, it is wrong. This is a dictionary. This is a dictionary. You understand? So you don't write empty set like that. So you only write empty set the way I've just written. So I think we are through for today. So tomorrow we're gonna be building that up. So tomorrow there won't be any need for us to run through all these again, because I just needed to remind us of what we've done. And of course, tomorrow's class, the project we're gonna be, I should try and do more than 2 projects, because we're not doing projects today. The time has already gone, almost 2 hours. So tomorrow we're gonna be doing projects. So the project will be, it shouldn't be less than 3 projects. You understand? So that we can spend extra 2 hours to Okay, so the project will be function based instead of so the function based will now remind us of what we've done in function. You understand the past lessons we've had in function. So we're gonna be building three projects. Alexa, for somebody that was asking me what Alexa is. Alexa, I don't know if you use, okay, maybe you are not using Android phone. If you're not using Android phone, we have something like that in iPhone too. Siri, Siri. You understand? We have Siri in iPhone, we have Alexa in Android phone. So we're gonna be building that using Python, and of course we're gonna be trying to build another one, say background remover, picture background remover using Python, and of course we're gonna be building algorithms for bank app. You understand? So thank you very much um, for those that are present. Thank you very much. Tomorrow is another day. So tomorrow is our project. Thank you for attending, and God bless. Do you have any questions? Who has a question? Please, if you have a question, let me know. Yeah, I just explained Alexa. What kind of phone do you use? We breed football. What kind of phone do you use? Thank you, sir. Android. And you don't you have Alexa on your phone? Hmm? Alexa is in Android now. Yeah, really. Okay, I think Alexa is an Android. So if it's not like Google, yeah, like Google Assistant. Thank you. Yeah, like your personal assistant, like Google Assistant. Oh, okay, great. Yes, the voice that says yes when you call it. So we're gonna be having our Alexa play our local movies, our local music, and all that. So we're gonna be building one. We can name your own too. You can name your own Ingozi. Ingozi. You can name your Alexa. You can decide to name your own Amaka, and let's see if it will not disappoint you. You understand? I can name my own Yabo. You understand? So we can decide to name our Alexa whatsoever thing we deem fit. Okay, we're gonna be addressing that. Yes, yes. Okay, that will be too is good. You have a question, Akinshola Abanjide Amos. Okay, what's your question? Amos, what's your question? Akinshola Abanjide Amos, what's your question, please? What's your question, please? King Bex, King Benz, are you just joining? Who has a question? Oh, okay, King Benz, you've been there. Thanks. That's quite good. You didn't come today. Okay, let's leave that for another time. Um, so I think I've been waiting for Akinshola Babajide Amos. So since there's no question, I think we need to conserve your okay, kindly explain that topic again, sir. The example you cited did not work out. Can you give us another example that explain it better? Okay, okay, great. Um, I'll quickly do that because I need to attend to some other persons. So I'll quickly do that. Okay, Fanem, account Fanem. Okay, I will explain how to navigate to VS Code. Front end class should be starting. Yes, I know. Mr. Sin. I kindly explain that topic again. I will explain. Okay, before we start tomorrow, I'll quickly explain. I'll run some code and I'll just do functions. Then we build our project straight. I won't dwell much on it. So tomorrow I will explain better. So you have to be present tomorrow. And that is that. And generally, how was the class? Was the class very interactive, or was it? Wasn't it? Was it very educating and communicating? Okay, okay, great. So, thank you very much for your lessons, for taking part in the lessons. Okay, Mr. Oluwafemi, I will address that with you personally. You understand? Or I will do a yeah, I will do a kind of another live so as for us to have to on how to use VS Code. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, Mr. Nandon. So, thank you for your time and God bless. Tosin, please kindly tell those front end people that it will be later tonight, and of course, if there's any change, I'll communicate that. For now, I need to quickly do something else. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Gonnet. Oh, thank you. Thank you very Thank you very much. Okay. So, Tosin, just tell them that I need to quickly run off that we just finished this thing. I need to do some other things, maybe tomorrow or late in the night. The time will be communicated to them. We just finished with Python and we wasted so many time. Thank you very much. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. So if you are yet to subscribe to our channels, you can just subscribe. And of course, we'll be having much of this. I think we should be having this daily now, so that we'll be having this every day now, so as for us to quickly wrap up our. Thank you very much. So we'll be having this daily till for this week. Next week we should have this daily so that we can quickly move to the next thing. Thank you very much. I appreciate.